Good morning. It is 4:30 and I'm on my way to the lake to meet up with my buddy Adrian and hopefully get some big bass. So Adrian and I are actually competitors in the KBF State Challenge monthly online, but he's doing awesome this month. He's sitting in third with 88.5 inches. I'm like in 15th. I only have 2 fish out of my 5 so far. So we have different goals for the day. He's looking for that big kicker upgrade fish, and I need to get 3 more fish just to fill my 5 fish limit and then start upgrading. So we're out at the lake with the little woods trail that you have to walk to get down there. Didn't plan this very well that we're gonna be dragging our kayaks through the woods in the dark, but anything to get those big fish, right? All right, we're going down the scary dark trail. Starting to see some light. Someone has built a teepee right here on the shore of this lake. Okay, Adrian, so what's your goal for the day?
Goal, catch a 20. Number one, first and foremost goal, but actually just get numbers and have fun. That's my main goal. It's just catch as many fish as I can, and then hopefully catch a big one too.
All right, what's your bait lineup?
Crankbait, spinnerbait if the wind picks up, jig, big worm, and then top water. We're going to start off with the popper.
All right, let's go get some big ones. Lake looks beautiful. We just have to get through that mud first. Look at that, that's like MacGyver stuff right there. Oh, now my anchor's like stuck in the mud. All right, well, I forgot I was gonna use the head cam today and didn't do my ponytail, so I'm gonna try it with no ponytail through the back to hold it up, but I might have to switch. Nope, that's definitely not gonna work. All right, that's better. I put the ponytail through the strap of the GoPro head cam and it helps it hold securely. Otherwise, I feel like when I go like this, it's just gonna spring right off and fall in the water, and too much money to throw in the lake. Adrian over there, what are you sitting in right now?
1.6.
He's in 1.6 feet of water. He's got fancy electronics on his boat. So we decided to start off the day with a little top water. He is throwing a popper and I'm throwing a buzzbait. We're gonna see if they want subtle top water or noisy top water or any top water at all. Oh, first cast with the Texas rig into a tree. I was thinking to follow up the noisy topwater with a quiet little worm. All right, well, I had to take my rods down out of the vertical rod holders because I'm going to go under some trees through this little cut to get to the main lake here. But I thought it was a good time to show you what I'm throwing today. So first in the lineup is this Mega Bass S-Crank 1.5, so it's a square bill, but it's a little fatter and has a different sound rattle than the Strike King KVD ones that I usually throw, so I thought I'd mix it in the lineup and see what happened. Next up is my buzzbait. I think it's called a tri-wing buzzbait because of the 3, but I just wanted something loud. Next up is my black and blue Colorado blade spinnerbait. I wanted something that had a bigger profile and a big thump, so Colorado one's good for that. And finally, I have my Texas rig. All right, I'm playing a wild card here. This is a Savage Gear top water, kind of a glide bait sort of thing, but it makes this really cool clicking every time you twitch it. I used to use it a lot in California. I haven't used it here, so let's see what they think. I see surface shad activity, so it seems like it would work. All right, so the last time I was here, I caught a nice fish right off this point here on a Strike King 3XD crankbait, I'm gonna try something slightly different. It's a little more fat, has a different rattle than the 3XD. If this doesn't work, of course, then I'm gonna switch back. But trying something new. Oh man, this is a bad one. Can you see that? It's a mess. Alright, I'm going to try my black and blue Colorado leaf spinnerbait on this point here. This one's real heavy with a big blade, and I'm letting it sink, and I'm slow rolling it enough that it's going right along the bottom, just like knocking into everything. I'm kind of fishing it like a crankbait. Alright, I'm paddling back to start that whole drift again. There's a ton of surface activity. I see like little white bass or big shad or crappie, something like that. They're just like popping up all over the surface, and every once in a while like a bigger splash. So I don't know what that means I should do. Maybe a crankbait, maybe a spinnerbait. That looks like some little bait fish. But like, do I want to be at the top? Do I want to be at the bottom? I don't know. I've always heard that bigger bass sit at the bottom and wait for the other fish to chase and knock one like unconscious, and then they eat the easy meal. So maybe I want to do a jig. Oh, I don't know. Alright, so I've switched to my jackhammer evergreen chatterbait in white with a Kayak paddle tail swim bait trailer, and I'm going to try to make it look like a shad. I don't know where they are in the water column, so I'm going to swim it fast for the top, moderate for the middle, and super slow to get down on the bottom. Surely something like that has to trigger a bite. Fish knowledge says that as the sun hits the water, the fish will retreat to shadowed places because they'll feel a little more comfortable and less exposed. I think that they might be a little more brave because the visibility is terrible today. The water's super stained. I would almost go far as to say a little bit muddy, but we're gonna try these shadows anyway as the sun comes up. Alright, I gotta give my KVD Strike King 3XD a try. This one chartreuse black back because the water has pretty low visibility today. So I'm throwing this in close to shore so it'll dig into the bottom, and working my way towards that point up there where it gets shallow way out. This is the tray of a person who has no idea what the bite is today. Okay, I'm going to try my jig worm. He's a jumper. Look at him. Nice fish. Is he going to upgrade for you?
I hope so.
Look how pale he is.
He's really pale.
And how big is he?
18. Right on it.
And how'd you get him?
On the jig. Football head jig.
Okay. There he goes. Alright, well Adrian just caught himself an 18-inch fish, and if we're lucky it's actually on video. So that gives him 4 18-inch fish out of the 5 fish limit, and the other one is 17. So he's doing great. But really this morning, I never would have guessed that the person who needed 3 fish of any length over 12 versus the person who needed an 18-inch fish to upgrade would have got his fish first. So I need to catch some fish. Adrian caught his fish by, he saw in his electronics that there was kind of like a drop off, like a ledge, and he saw a big fish marked on it. So he threw his jig out there and dragged it kind of like over the edge of the ledge, and he got the fish. Then he threw it back out there and he got another fish. So that's really cool. It's really cool. He's finally getting like the hang of his electronics and feeling really comfortable and confident with catching those big fish. But it's sort of sad that I can't catch a fish. It's hard when the person next to you is catching fish and you're not. But I'm just gonna keep trying. I did switch to a jig and tried to throw that around, but you just can't fish someone else's way. I've tried a spinnerbait, a couple different crankbaits, buzzbait, chatterbait, tried my worm. What else? I don't know. Right now I'm trying my popper frog because I'm in a little more of a shallow part with wood underneath, and we're seeing a lot of bait fish surface activity. So maybe my popper frog can do something. I mean, it can't hurt. Nothing else has worked so far. But this is good practice on keeping a positive mental attitude when things aren't going your way. And you just have to have faith in yourself that eventually you will figure it out and get fish. It might be after the tournament's over, but it will happen. All right, Adrian and I are going on an adventure or a portal to another dimension. One of those two things. We're gonna see what is over around this corner here. See if our boats can make it. There's like nowhere to paddle. What have we over here? Back out to the main lake. That was a cool little pond. It was just so shallow. All right, well, it's around 3 o'clock. We've decided to call quits for the day. I ended up with 0 fish. Adrian ended up with 1 really nice upgrade fish and another keeper that didn't upgrade for him. So Adrian's going to tell you about his fish.
I was able to do some offshore electronic stuff today, so stuff that I'm not normally used to doing. It worked. I was using a football jig and I found the hump and it worked. So I got a few bites off of it. Of course, I rookied up on a couple, so I missed them, but I'm happy I got the one that counted. So learn from that, keep going.
So gonna pack it in and try again tomorrow. And tomorrow's another day with big bass.
Ooh, made it. Kinda. The wheels are gonna come off.
Oh no!
Sorry, I made it up the hill.